since it is draft week, instead of gamifying the show at this point, we're just going to talk more draft, right? So I think you guys kind of tipped your hand, especially Mac and Coach, thinking that the Cowboys might move up. But let's just do this as a draft exercise. Play with me, if you will. A little bit of gamification, not much. Let's say that the Cowboys do hold on to pick number 12 in this year's NFL draft. Who should they pick? Do you think the person that you want them to pick will still be on the board? And Coach, since you've been watching all these players, you're up first.
Yeah, I don't think – I'd love to have Arvell Reese. I don't believe he'll be there. I like to have Styles. I don't think he'll be there. If I have to sit tight, I'll go Mansour Delane, the LSU corner, and I'll hope that he is there.
All right, Jonah, what about you?
With new defensive coordinator Christian Parker, I got to think it's going to be somebody in the secondary, and it's probably a best player available from the secondary. I doubt Caleb Downs is going to make it all the way to 12, especially with the Giants now having pick 10. Dylan Thieneman is a name to watch. Safety out of Oregon. I mean, he's getting projected more into the mid-teens, but he could be viable, especially if Delane's off the board, and especially if they don't like Jermod McCoy's knee history and the question marks there with the cornerback out of Tennessee.
Mac?
I'm biased because I had a chance to visit with this guy a couple times. I mentioned him earlier in the segment. Big Ruben Bain fan. I had a chance to see him play in the playoffs at A&M and then against Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, and he was just a nightmare for very good offensive lines to deal with, and they couldn't deal with him. I think he's tremendous. I think he's tremendous, and I think he would be a massive impact in his first season with the Cowboys. I'm really hoping they get him. Now, they're going to have to get lucky. He's going to have to drop just a little bit, but my fingers are crossed for Ruben Bain.
It'll be interesting to see if he is still available, and I think that's the big if with this draft because, you know, Coach, I'm thinking Mansour Delane as well, the kid from LSU, right, as the Cowboys try and shore up, you know, a defense that was just historically bad last season, giving up more points than any Cowboys defense in its history. All the big plays, 54 plays of 25 or more yards. That was worst in the NFL in that category. So when it comes to trying to shut down these big plays and the fact that the new defensive coordinator is, you know, so invested in the secondary like Jonah was alluding to, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the guy. I just don't know if he's still going to be on the board if the Cowboys do try and hang tight and stay at number 12. And so that's why I think this Cowboys team just has to be ready for anything more than ever in this year's draft. And then finally, any thoughts about 20? Pick 20, you guys, as we get out of here. We only have a few seconds left. If we can go rapid fire with this one. Any picks about that? Any thoughts about that 20th pick?
I'd go Rodriguez. I'd fill two holes. I'd go Jacob Rodriguez 20. I'd go Delane at 12. And then, you know, go hang out with Jerry and drink at Johnny Walker Blue till the world looks flat. I'd take those two guys right now.
It looks like everybody was shaking their heads in agreement on that one. I will say this. The Cowboys have had 6 previous drafts when they had multiple first-round picks. The best one was the year when they took the one and only DeMarcus Ware, then later it was Marcus Spears. But a Hall of Famer at 12 would be amazing. And if they got a great piece at 20, incredible stuff.